Alright guys, welcome back. So in this video we are going to start our game development process. There are few things which we want to give attention when we are working with especially with pixel art theme. Okay, so for example, if I try to let's drag this player. So let's see if I can drag. No, I cannot drag and drop using my mouse since I am working on a mobile editor. So basically what I have to do is I'll keep this game root node selected, and I'll click this press plus button, and from here let me search for the sprite 2D node. Okay, and from the texture drop down, let's go ahead, click load, and from the art we are going to select the player. All right, now if I try to zoom in, and this time I'm using my fingers in order to zoom in. So I'm using two fingers and dragging them apart in order to perform zoom in action. So basically you can see our asset is looking fine, but as you can see, if I zoom out, so the I hope you can see this blue area, you know. So this is my actual size of the viewport, right? The screen which I have targeted in my project settings. So for example, if I try to grab this sprite over here, and if I, for example, if I try to, let's say, scale it up, and if I'm pressing shift and dragging it, so it's going to scale proportionally. So for example, let's say if I try to scale it up like this. Okay, and to save the scene I click save. Now if I hit play, so what do you notice here? So the very first thing that we are going to notice is that even that our game asset is a pixel art style, still all the pixels looks very blurry, right? So there is a easy way to fix this, and by default what Godot does is basically it adds a smoothness, you can say, to in order to make the images look good. But in our case, what we have to do is we have to tell the Godot that, hey, don't do anything with my image, just leave it as it is, because I want the sharp pixels. What we have to do is we have to go to the project, click on the project settings. Okay, and if you go down, you'll see under the rendering tab there is this menu option called textures. Okay, just go there, and if you see this first option, default texture filter, so basically it is set to linear, which is basically linearly adding the filter. So what I want is I don't want any filter, so I'll choose nearest. So basically now you will see that if I press play button, now you can see that my pixel art asset is perfectly sharp edged, and that's what we wanted. Okay, so now since we have already added a sprite 2D node, so let's just rename this, and we are going to call this background, since it is going to hold our background image. So let's go ahead and load our asset. So when especially working in mobile phone, you have to keep this in mind, that you cannot drag and drop the asset like you are used to do in a regular PC mode. All right, so you need to add this sprite node, and then you have to, from this particular button, drop down button, you have to load that asset manually. So now that we had scaled it, I had scaled it, so let me go ahead to the transform and let's scale it back to 1. Okay, so now the image has been scaled back to 1. Now for the position, so for example, if I set this position to 0 0, you can see it's going like the center of the image is over here, and the center of the game world is here. Sorry, the 0 0 point, origin point, is over here. So our image is going there. So what we can do is we can say that, okay, our total screen size is 640. So if we divide by 2, so horizontally I will our game's background image will come in the center, and for the height, similarly, we have to divide the height by 2. So basically 360 by 2, and now you can see that our image has perfectly acquired the overall space of our project window, and that's what we wanted. Let's hit play, and our image is right over here and looks pretty good. Okay. All right, so we have uh, understood the how we can set the settings for when working with pixel art mode, and we have added our background sprite into our game. Now in the next video we will start adding the player and we'll create the required player mechanics. Okay, so see you in the next one.